You guys obviously keep, really, busy with your other activities. How hard is it to, is it hard these days to put time into the Vandals, or is it?
It's hard, Sam. It's hard.
Not enough hours in the day. We're sleep deprived.
Yeah, it's like I got a real job. I wake up at 6 a.m. I don't wake up. I wake up at like 4:30, and I go do. I'm a radio. I'm like a radio host. So I'm there every morning.
Exactly like a radio host.
I'm exactly like a radio host, and I gotta take credit for other people's rock and introduce the traffic and the weather and the sports. And it's indie rock, I don't think the Vandals are that cool. They don't want to let me take off that much time. So that's hard. It's easy for Dave. It's easy for Warren. Sometimes he has hard commitments. Gwen Stefani for a year playing that thing. We couldn't play one show while he was out with Gwen Stefani. She wasn't having any of it. And Josh Freese, it's hard to get that guy out of anything.
Also, but as far as the time thing, I think we've got a clever way of doing this, where we're just doing weekends. We flew out Friday to Chicago, go to Detroit. Here we are Sunday night, and then go home. We did the same thing last weekend and the weekend before. And
it's not that cost effective, but we all have our other jobs, so it's not like we're depending on punk rock to pay our bills.
Well, it creates illusion that we're an actively touring band.
Right, exactly. So no one in the Toronto area this week will start a band called the Vandals.
Yeah,
because we played this week, and it's like
when we're this far from home, they assume that we've worked our way up.
Yeah,
here.
they do.
You know what I mean? They don't think we started Friday, which we did 2 days ago. So they're like, "How's the tour going?"
Yeah.
Well,
so don't tell them.
We're into the 36th hour of this tour, and it's pretty rough.
Well, we got the worst backlash from it the first time when we went to Iraq, and then we went to Europe right afterwards, and just boycotts and canceled shows, and venues had to be moved because promoters wouldn't work with us, radio stations wouldn't advertise because that was the way the Europeans felt.
Yeah, was it some of the Europeans assumed it was some sort of political statement or something that
they didn't even want to know that we didn't have an opinion on the war,
and it was honestly about the kids that are stuck out there,
Yeah. But they didn't.
And that's a bad, you know what I mean? It was just really weird. I can't get my head around that take on it.
They wanted to get on their European high horse.
Yeah, it was a high horse thing.
Use us as their scapegoats. But we came home, and then we got an invitation to go to Afghanistan, and we went right back. We're done in Europe. We lost our whole European. That was probably our number one mainstream money-making market was Europe. That disappeared overnight. But we went right back to Afghanistan. And no one even thought about it. We just went right back. We figured, part of it was what other territories could we lose?
Did you receive any flack for it at home, like in America or in Canada at all?
None.
Nah, none. Everybody can separate it immediately. Oh, you support the troops. Oh, I don't even want to know whether you support the war because you write songs about diarrhea, and I don't even really want to hear what you have to say about the war. But I understand that people can support the troops. People just leave us alone about it and say thank you.
Right. Well, and it's like you've got everyone of the entire political spectrum going over. It's not saying you got Al Franken over there or Henry Rollins or Snoop Dogg or whatever. 50 Cent showing up to just go there, and these poor kids that are stuck there are stoked.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, we're stuck over here. We might die, and you actually bother to come out here and play your stupid songs. That's and it's not that we're fantastic for doing that, but it's not it's the least that someone could do. I think.
I had an interview with a German rock journalist, and he was telling me that there's no possible way you can go play for the troops and not be supporting the war because you should be using that time to grab the microphone and denounce the war if you're there to do that. It's like, whatever, that's your opinion. And then I said, well, you know what, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people in our country, like Al Franken, and then they were like, who? They didn't know who that was, go to the war. And then I said, Henry Rollins goes and performs for the troops. And the guy said, I did not know this, and I will now never listen to Henry Rollins.
Yeah, put him on the blacklist, yeah.
So I've been running around trying to spread the word about Henry Rollins over in Europe. I'm just doing my part.
What's the crabs in a barrel? Let's drag everyone down.